Perfect. That's why women tend to be better shots than men. It's much easier for me to teach a lady to shoot than it is a guy. Because most ladies have never picked up a gun or don't know much about it, so they're open. A lot of guys have seen too many westerns, okay? And they think they're automatically great shots, and they're not, because I see it all the time. Okay, so, but you ladies are also tending to be much better traders than men, too, for the same reasons. Okay? And the other reasons why Jack did so well on the range. And what he did, just going to the range and shooting like he did, was phenomenal. That was an astounding what you did. Because I've known people that have shot for years and couldn't do that. Okay, and Roger.
You listen to the experts, to the people that were doing it.
Good, very good, very good. Anyone else?
Past life?
No previous experience.
Past life, well, past life he was throwing spears. I guarantee you he wasn't throwing spears at 300 yards.
He had the confidence.
He might have.
He had the confidence to hit the target.
I'm sorry.
He had the confidence to hit the target.
Thank you.
The spear did that.
Thank you. You got it. That's right.
But
He survived in past lives to make it to this life. So he must have done well. Okay. Good. I didn't realize this would be a comedy session, but that's okay. Anyone else?
He also checked himself if he did miss one.
Right.
Like, what rule have I broken?
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's very good. Anyone else? Yeah.
No fear.
No fear. Right. Very good. Anyone else?
No previous.
He was relaxed.
No
Good.
previous
Very
experience to compare.
good. Excellent. This is all very good. This is all very good. Yes.
Well, we didn't ask him, but did you visually see yourself doing well?
In the beginning, I have no idea I'm going to do well. I just follow the steps and I just go through it. And when I hit the target, I said, oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
Then after that, I know I can do it. Before I even squeeze the trigger, I know I'm going to hit the target. I mean, just that knowing.
You know her.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, why do people have so much trouble shooting when at times it can be very easy? So why do they have, some people have so many problems? Why?
Try too hard.
They try too hard. Right. They try too hard. All right. They forget about the fundamentals. Okay. It's not just pulling the trigger. It's not just holding up the firearm. There was a sequence of things to do. There were fundamentals for all of this, just like what we're trying to teach.
Well, it's kind of like when you learn to drive a car, you did have to think about
Right.
things.
True.
And as you do it, you just do it.
Right. Right. And that's true. And that's true. But in 1996, I was working with the Olympic athletes in Colorado Springs, the karate and judo teams. I was a doctor for the teams. I'd run down the hall to where the American shooters are for the Olympics. Now here I am surrounded by people that have V-neck everything. I mean, they are muscular, they are well-tuned, they are perfect athletes. I go running down the hall, and I open up the door to the American shooters group, and I run to this group where they're overweight, they're out of shape, and these are some of the best shooters in the world. Okay? And I spent a long time down there trying to figure out why could they outshoot people like me. And it was very easy. They were relaxed. They were focused. They had nothing to prove. They already made it. Okay? It was astounding to watch how well they could do, even though they were grossly out of shape. Okay? What we're doing and where we're going is not about our exercising abilities. It's our mental attitudes that's going to determine how we get there. Every sport, and I don't care what sport it is, I don't care what it is, has to begin in the energetic realm. If you can't see what you're doing ahead of time, if you can't visualize what you're doing ahead of time, if you can't make it a part of what you're doing, you're not going to get there. I don't care what the sport is. When I'm shooting a pistol, I go through a sequence of steps. I inhale my breath, which is what I was teaching you last week. I inhale my breath, and as I inhale my breath, I pick up my arm. And as I let out my breath through my nose, I drop my arm down to the target, and at the right moment I fire. Okay? There's a sequence of things, but I have to visualize that bullet leaving and going straight to the target. If I break that concentration at any point, what do you think happens? I I miss, or something will happen. But in visualizing that motion, every part of me is synchronized to hit that bullseye. Every part of it. So, now we come to us. We come to the concept of attempting to change our situations, our prosperity situations. Health, wealth, and relationships. Now, honestly speaking, if I could have done it by now, I would have done it. If you could have done it by now, you would have done it. So we have programs that are trying to stop us from achieving the type of prosperity that you want. I see this all the time at the gun range. I see people that are trying to shoot and hit the target, and instead of hitting groups like this or making groups like this, they're shooting groups like that. And they're satisfied with groups like this. Okay? Well, you're not. You can't be, because you're not going to get where you want to go with groups like this. Well, we've all learned bad habits, and they've been ingrained in us. So how do you get past the bad habits to reprogram yourself to start being focused so that when you do make your decision about whatever it is involving your prosperity, you can do it free of fear or anger? I hope this is a start of it. These 5 steps to prosperity. That's what I'm hoping for, that we can start doing this. And I want to go into this in more detail tonight, because there are a few things I thought about since last week that I can bring to your attention, and maybe you can get a better idea of what to do. Okay? Let's go through these step by step by step. I want to make sure of this. Okay, step 1. Step 1. Step 1 is what?
Claim your space.
Claim your space. Okay, I want to make sure we understand about what space means. If we're talking, because we're going to go into this tonight, we're going to meditate here tonight for our prosperity. Tonight our space would be this room. Okay? Or it could be my office, including this room. Or it could be about space. Now, during the day, when you do your meditation and you're getting ready for the rest of the day, your space could be the home you're in, the car you're driving, the distance that you're going, the next place that you're going to go to, the next business or area that you're going to. All of that is your space. Are we clear about space? Okay?
This week what I did is I said the space is going to be wherever I'm going to be in contact with.
Okay.
Which, and I didn't really see a border to it because my space can end up, depending on who I'm talking with, all over. But it seemed to, it felt okay.
Yeah, and that's good. You can do that.
Okay.
I like to visualize where I'm going and what I'm saying. I want to make sure that everywhere I'm going, as much as I can, I know that that area is going to be clear for me. So that works for me. Okay? All right. Yeah.
But your space is moving with you, right? That's the way I see it.
It can be. It can be.
You know, I move here, well, then it's, 10 miles from here. I move there, well, it's already 10 miles around.
Yes, but I want to make sure we're saying the same thing. I want to make sure that we understand, yes, my space is moving with me, but I want to make sure that the space I'm choosing is large enough. So if I'm moving in that space, I'm not going to be concerned about someone who's in that space with me who's having a bad day. I want to clear enough room and enough space around me, including the earth, but the primary spaces I'm going to. Earth is secondary space. Okay, I want to clear those spaces, so if someone's having a bad day, someone kicked their cat, screamed at someone, or is angry, I want to make sure that's not part of what I want. Okay? My cats would never forgive me if I did that, right?
So is it fair to say that it's safe to choose a large space?
Sure, sure,
All right.
sure. You can choose whatever you want. And I call that my primary space, but I also have a secondary space, which is the attachment of the earth with that. Okay? And I'll explain why, just to make sure we're clear with that in a few minutes. Okay, so are we clear about space? All right, are we clear about that? Are we clear about space then? Yes.
Why don't you just put it around yourself and then just declare that, wherever you go, you've got your space around you and it's gonna stay clear?
Well-
Because who knows where I'm gonna go in the day? I mean, I could be in a lot of different places. I
Yep.
can't always visualize all the places might end up.
Okay. If you want to do that, Sharon, it's okay. I just want to make sure that if someone's walking past me and I haven't cleared their area, like I haven't gone out far enough. I want to make sure they're not going to influence me. That's the reason why I'm doing it. Okay? I want to have some confidence, so if someone comes into the office here and they're having a really bad day, it's not going to bother me. Okay? So we clear now about space.
I put the whole DFW area as mine, so I didn't have to worry about it.
I mean, if you're going to be
Why
in
is
those
that, 'cause
areas.
it's so stressful in DFW?
Well, yeah, wherever I go, or whoever's coming from wherever, then I just put DFW there,
Yeah.
and
And you can do that. You can do things like this. This is your imagination. You can go as far as you want. It's not like you're going to overdo it, but I just want you to understand that where you are going that day, you are free and clear of any outside influences. That's what's important when you do this. That's the goal. Okay? All right. What's in step number 2?
Clear your space.
Clear your space. Now, Mary was very kind in making up these sheets about clearing your space, the clearing statements. Everyone have copies of the clearing statements. If you don't, then talk to Mary afterwards. Okay, the clearing statements. Okay? Then make sure you have this. Okay? It's what we wrote last week on here. It's just that she was kind enough to put it down on paper. Okay? All right, now, with the clearing statement, we talked about doing it 10 to 15 times, maybe as much as 20 times. But since then, I've actually had a few circumstances where I've had to clear myself several hundred times. Several hundred times. Almost close to 1,000 in one case. All right, now, we can do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to take a long time. So, I want you to think about clearing your space this way. You can do it in multiples of 5 at a time, 10 at a time, 100 at a time, 1,000 at a time. I don't care. When you see the hand of God at the bottom of the earth, and you're up here somewhere in your space, and that hand is going through, I'm doing it now a minimum of 10 times at one swipe that God's clearing. Minimum of 10 times. Okay? You can do it much more than that if you need it. Make sense?
So
Okay.
10 times at the, like clearing the whole space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and if I was up here, my space, I have my primary space, whatever it is, and I say, all right, I'm going to go into step 2 now, my clearing. I see the hand coming up like this, and every time it comes right on through past me, it's done 10 of those individual clearings each time. Or it could do 100 or 1,000 or as much as you want. Yes.
If we know it's gonna take time, and we don't know exactly how many times it's gonna do it, is there any reason why we just can't go do it 1,000 times the first time?
You can. You can. Except I want to make sure that your conscious mind, your subconscious mind is agreeing with your statements. You see, when I do it, and I have to practice this. I had to practice this a little bit. But when I got it down, I could easily then do 10. And I could get, with one swipe of God's hand, I could do 10 clearings. But then I could automatically feel much better rather than doing just one clearing. I need to be able to feel the effects
Oh,
from
no,
it.
there's
Right.
the feeling in too, but
Right.
it's for where I'm at, it's only taken me 2 or 3,
Okay,
and I'm
That's good.
feeling okay.
that's good. But you may want to try more and see if that would even put you into a deeper level.
Okay.
Because I want to clear enough so that I'm relaxed. I'm totally relaxed so I can move on to the other steps. How many times that takes, that's up to you. But I want to be able to sense that I'm relaxed. Now, if you cannot sense that you're relaxed, okay, if you can't sense that it's clearing, if you can't, then just imagine the space you're in is dark. Just imagine that you've chosen this space, whatever it is in step 1, and it's dark, and every time the hand of God comes through there, it gets lighter. That I think you can see. Now, when it gets light enough for you, go to step 3. Okay? Make sense? If you can't sense that it's actually reducing that stress, then look at something, some method that will work for you. Make sense? Okay? Any questions about that? Because there were questions about that during the week. Any questions? Okay? All right. Step 3. What's step 3?
bringing God and angels.
Okay? Yep. Step 3. Step 3 is we're bringing this energy in right through here, okay? We're coming right through Earth with that energy, and the energy is powered by what? Joy.
Gratitude.
And gratitude, right? Joy and gratitude. So that energy is powered by joy and gratitude coming straight through the Earth, coming back on through. Now, your energetic self, that energetic circle is not there in step 3. Going back into heaven because I want heaven to energize this force. I don't want to have to keep using my energy all the time. So we're going to let God help us in heaven to energize this force. Okay? And let it keep working through. Okay? Step 3. Now, step 3 is important for a reason. I talked to you about writing your wants and desires, your life statement for 2015. Show of hands, how many people wrote their life statement for 2015? Come on, if you did it, put your hands up. Okay, now, this is important. This is very important. When you're in stage 3, step 3, at that point, you can start to introduce your life statement about 2015. I'm not going to call it a goal statement. I'm calling it a life statement. Because, for example, I'm here right now, and in my life for this year, I want to go up there. Okay? So I wrote my life statement in December of last year about what I want this year. Okay? So that's my life statement. And I would be very specific with it. Very specific. So you can start introducing it in stage 3. So I got the energy of God coming through. I've given it a few minutes to work. So now I see my life statement also coming through me and going through this circuit all the way through. Because now, from step 1, I have my primary area, I have my secondary area of the entire Earth as my goal statement, as my life statement comes through. Everything around me in my primary area is vibrating with my life statement. The entire Earth is vibrating with my life statement. So everyone in every area of the Earth is now vibrating with my life statement. Yeah.
There were like 10 things that I really wanted to accomplish this year.
Okay.
But rather than make a huge statement with 10 things, those things could be accomplished with, and I tallied up, needs this much money, needs this much money,
Right.
and at the end I came up with a money figure.
Okay.
Is it okay just to use that? And that's what I did. If I make this much money this year, or when I make this much money this year, I'll achieve these goals.
Okay. Okay. But I would also ask you to think about this. I don't care how many statements you have in your life statement. You can make it up 2, 3, 6, 100, I don't care. But what you're going to do is when you write your life statement, you're going to draw some type of figure around it, and I would call it maybe L for life statement. So when I'm sending in stage 3, I'm sending an energy through, and I'm ready now to send my statement L through. I don't have to worry about all the different statements.
You only write it down once and you just
That's it.
say the L,
Of course.
and never have to even go back
Of
and look
course.
at it again, other
Yeah.
than just to see if you're getting there.
Yeah, because this already has all the information. You don't have to worry about all that. Keep it simple.
Okay.
And to get money, we need ideas. We need energy to make money. Okay? So it's nice to say I need this much money, but we need the energy of ideas to create the money.
Well, I made a
necessary,
list
right?
of ideas, and then I had that first.
Good, good. But you understand where I'm going
Yeah,
with this?
yeah.
You do.
So if you don't know what your ideal life statement would be for 2015, what energy would you send through?
Okay? Well, how would you like to improve? Are you happy with all parts of your life right now? Okay, you've answered your question. Okay? So you can take at least a part of that, and see what you could possibly do for this year, a part of it. Is that fair?
Yes.
No, you may not have to hit everything, but at least certain things that you know would probably help you by this time next year, if you could get those. Okay? Is that clear about life goals, life situations? Okay? All right?
How does the other programs, other statements work with that, or don't work with it, or totally unrelated?
I'll explain that in just a moment.
Okay, sorry.
Good, that's a good question. That's a good question. Okay, but I found that putting that life statement at position 3 helps me. And it's easy then, because everything I do from this part, no matter where I'm going, is really being saturated with my my life statement. Now, you might say, well, am I cheating by doing something like that? Am I forcing people into serving me? Because I'm sending out my program and I'm just expecting it to work. Well, here's the good news. Everyone who vibrates like I am, like specifically like I am, will be attracted to my life statement, and they'll want to work with me and I'll want to work with them. And everyone else who's not attracted to my life statement, it's just like homeopathics, will not work with me and not help me, and that's great. I don't want that. I only want to work with people that I can work with who can work with me. It's as simple as that. But why not have everyone on this earth thinking about you? Even if they never met you. Right? Okay. Step 3. Okay. We go to step 4. What's step 4?
Excuse me, I have a question about step 3.
Yes.
We, for some reason, we didn't mention any more about to let go of lack of acceptance and lack of forgiveness. Should we still include that?
Yes, yes you can, because the gratitude is accepting and forgiving. That's all part of that, as we're going into that. Okay, yes, yes.
All right. Because I find that since I started doing that, for some reason during the day, if I did something that I didn't supposed to do, like not forgive someone or not accept someone, it's like a voice came and said, okay, acceptance, it reminds me.
Right.
So I like that very much.
Good, very good. And as you're saying, that's good. Yes, it's gratitude and joy. And while we're talking about this, well, what's a reason for you to be joyful as we're talking about this? Why? Fine. Well, imagine, you're answering too many questions. You know it all. How about someone else? Why? Why should you be joyful? Why? If you're doing this
statement's coming.
right. I mean, we're giving permission to God and all these energies to help us. We don't have to do all this hard work ourselves. We don't have to make all these phone calls. We don't have to do all these things. Now, maybe later we might. But at least in the beginning, we're softening up everything around us to start working with us. To me, that brings a lot of joy.
Because I think in a way also we give ourselves permission to be joyful.
Right. Right. Okay.
By doing that.
Yes. And then the gratitude, forgiving others, forgiving ourselves, accepting others, it's all part of the gratitude, being thankful for all the gifts that we have. I mean, I know you've got a bunch of things that you can do for them. Okay? So are we clear about step 3? Okay? Step 4. What's step 4?
Bring your energetic self into the picture.
Right. Energetic self, we now see just the energetic image of ourself, the mirror image of ourselves. Now, if you can't see the brain, heart, and spirit, then just imagine again that what you're looking at is an object, maybe you are dark, and you're sending the energy through it until it becomes light again. If you can't see these 3 areas separately, then just imagine that's a dark area, you're sending this energy through and it becomes light. Could you do that? Now, how long will that take? I'm not sure. As you get better at this, you can probably do it in 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? Keep it simple. Just keep it simple. And why, again, are we wanting brain, heart, and spirit to be very bright, very luminous? Why? Why?
Well, that's when they're alive.
They're aligned, right. If I'm going to ask for something, expect something, look for something, I want to make sure that my human side, my brain and heart, are going to work with my spiritual side. All right? Otherwise, I've got conflict. Okay? All right? So, level 5. What's level 5? Or step 5?
You bring in others.
Okay? We see the energetic circle, right? And I want to reorganize step 5 for our sake. And here's the reason why, but thank you, Larry. You're right. You're right. Last week we talked about working on others. This week I'm going to specifically request that you only work on yourself, at least for the next several weeks. Why just you? Why just you?
When it gets healed in me, it's usually healed around the people
Right.
that I'm with.
That's right.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah. Why is it important that, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
When it gets healed in me, it gets healed in the people around me.
From this point on, when you answer, would you mind standing? That way everyone will hear it, okay? So, there's another reason also. It's very good, but there's another reason. It's about character. Character. If we're going to achieve something, whatever it is we're going to achieve, the quality of what we're going to achieve, our satisfaction with what we're going to achieve, the quickness that we're going to achieve it, is based upon our character. What do I mean by character? Any ideas? Go on. What do you mean by character?
Habits.
Habits, okay. Okay, what else?
Truth or principles that I live by.
Right, that's right. That's exactly my point. So I started thinking about this because I deal with fear. And everyone in this room is split between those who have fear or those who have anger and frustration. It's one or the other. So I realized that in my character, everything that I want to improve upon has to be a function of eliminating more and more and more fear. Because if I'm here and I want to go there, I would have already been there if I didn't have the fear to stop me. In one way, shape, or form. I see it all the time at the gun range. It's amazing. I can watch people shoot, and then I can watch them as they're doing well, and now they start thinking too much, now they start doubting too much, and now their groups go from something like this to something like that very quickly, and sometimes they can't even hit the target because now they start doubting themselves. Okay? See it all the time.
What's the difference between life statement and character?
Well, life statement would be, I would like that I'm making X amount of money. I meet this certain person, whoever this would be, okay? I get to a certain city, or I change my home to something else. That's a life statement, okay? My character, though, is something I take very personally. It's honesty, it's integrity. It's about following through. It's about what do you need to change from being an angry or frustrated person to a person who is now mellow. What do you need to change from someone who's fearful to someone who's courageous? That's character. Am I being clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I realize this is not easy, but I am going to ask you to take about 5 minutes to write down now. 5 minutes. I'm going to time it. 5 minutes to write down what you would want for your character. Bullet statements. You don't have to write a formal statement. But what do you really want that would help improve the quality of your life? Who are you? What do you want to be? C for strength of character. We already have C for clearing statement. I want to make sure that we separate the two, so I call this SC. For me, I call it strength of character. we doing? Can I move on? Everyone have it finished? Anyone need more time? Anyone need more time? Raise your hand. And what I'm doing with SC is, I see my physical self now standing next to my energetic profile. I see myself standing there. So what I'm doing is all this energy is moving through. It's moving through this circuit. I have myself standing there. I'm now projecting energy onto myself with my SC statement. It's just like it's a garden hose or a fire hose. I'm spraying that on myself. I'm giving myself permission to change. But I can't do it by myself. Otherwise, I would have been there by now. Don't ever forget that what's powering this is your connection to the divine. Possibly with the help of the divine, we can get to where you want to go, where I want to go, to change our character. But I can't do it by myself. So whenever I start doubting whether or not I can make it, whether I can change my character, if I need to, I'll go back to step 2, which is that clearing section, and I may clear myself 1,000 times if I have to, because I'm starting to doubt myself. Okay. And then I'll start projecting back my energy onto myself at step 5, seeing myself achieving that character that I was born to have.
Your energetic self or your physical self?
My physical self. So even though I'm working with you right now, I see myself standing right over there, right over there. I see myself standing now. I've been projecting my statement to me while I've been talking to you all through this time. I won't break concentration. So whether I'm driving, working on a patient, working on some other things, talking to someone, I'm always projecting what I want for myself, because unless I achieve that type of character, I'm either not going to make what I want, or if I do get it, I'm not going to be happy with it. And I want to stop self-sabotaging myself, and I'm hoping that all of us will start doing that too. Am I being fair? And whatever we want, no matter what it is, the quality of what we're going to get is a function of that character. We'll get no more or less than that. That's something that really hit me this past week. So I would encourage you, no matter how long it takes, I don't care if you spend the entire year working on just you, it'll be well worth it. Well worth it. Am I being clear?
So to be clear, we are not doing number 5 anymore, where we bring in people, places, and things. We're just going to work on our character in number 5?
That's up to you. But here's what I would tell you. I would tell you this, that if you're working on your character, and you bring in others, and now suddenly you're having trouble focusing on you, because others are there in this circle, then you're not ready. You're not ready. I've worked with people this past week while we were doing this, where they were working on their characters, I was working on them, and I was amazed, because now it's just them on that circle, and now it's like these spirits were around them banging on the door, trying to get in to this energetic circle, because they wanted what this person was giving themselves. By you changing your character to what you want, you will attract so many opportunities to you, because people will want to be around you. They won't even know why. I've never seen anything like this before. 3 people did it on the table this past week in 3 separate times. It was hard for me to even work on the person, because they literally, these spirits outside were banging, like trying to get in so they would get into that circle. 3 separate times. And I've never seen that before.
When you're saying spirits, it was the spirit of somebody else out in the world that you think was going to affect them later, or this was celestial spirit?
All of it. Doesn't matter. Everything in the universe wants to be part of that type of energy. Everything in the universe. Every person, place, or thing wants to be part of that. Having that type of character is infectious. Oh, Larry, since you raised your hand first. Okay.
How did the person on the table feel? Did they see it? Did they feel it?
They were uneasy because they were trying to focus on themselves, and they didn't understand why they were uneasy until I explained it. That never happened to them either.
I just want to, because I wasn't here last week and I haven't had a chance to listen on the video. protected bubble no longer.
No, we are in a protected bubble.
That's just a
that's step
circle
one.
and bubble, that's what I thought.
That's step one. That's our bubble. And let me go to that for just a moment here. Let me go to that for just a minute here. If you do these steps properly, I literally see surrounding me, no matter how far out it is, no matter how big my space is, I literally see that bubble. I can literally see it. You may sense it. I don't know how else you'll know, but I can see it. When I go through these steps well, it's formed around me. So no matter where I am, if I lose that, then I know that something has penetrated and created a problem. I got to go back to step 2, which is clearing. But I actually see that space. I literally see the extent of that space. Answer your question?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I just need to watch the last lesson.
Right. Andrew?
If you move, step 5, if you move the physical you onto the energetic circle, or prosperity circle, how are you completing the circuit if you're no longer...
Do it any way you want, but what I'm doing is, I'm imagining that some of the energy in this, some of the energy in here is being siphoned off, spraying onto me, okay, spraying onto me, so that I start improving according to my character. And then heaven starts increasing whatever I'm losing. It starts adding to that, so I have a full amount of this energy always going through. I never have to worry about using it up.
But would you always have a physical you separate from the energetic you, even though you're on that circle?
I'm using the energetic because I want brain, heart, and spirit to be one. So I'm always working on it. I'm using my physical presence here adjacent to it because now I want my character to improve. And in my character, I want not just my energy of character to improve, but what I'm going to do physically also to improve. That's why I'm using my physical image.
So you would actually have 3 images?
2. Just 2. I have my energetic profile, however I look. I'm just saying a mirror image of me. But then I also see a solid version of me, just like I am now, standing adjacent to this energetic profile.
But then you also have your physical you as well.
That's the physical me.
You know, he doesn't mean his literal self in his circle. It is his physical body. Haven't you been doing it? You haven't been doing it, but physical.
So, right.
I thought the physical you was actual you.
Right, it is me.
Right. But then on the prosperity circle, it's a image of the physical you.
Right, and that could be anything, however you picture that. But to me, it looks like gas. It looks like a gas there. Or a formation, something like that.
Just I'm saying, in that sphere, you would actually have 3 versions of you.
Oh, I would have this one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'd have this one, the energetic, and then the physical.
Right.
Right, yes, 3. I thought you meant 3
No,
right
then I
here.
don't understand why that says physical right there. Isn't he that physical plus another
That's
physical?
you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing separate things with this image. Okay, I'm letting the energy come through me. And then I'm giving myself permission to stand away so I can just project what I want onto myself, because I want to focus on this. I want to know that this energy is coming through me. And I also want to know that I'm doing everything I possibly can to project into this area my character.
Just the energetic do that area.
That's the
Well, a minute ago you said the physical self, so I'm like, doesn't it go on the loop and does it really matter where you put it? Does it go both places? I mean,
well, for me,
strength of character.
I'm doing this for a purpose, that's what I'm saying.
You're making an intention, you're doing that, but I understand that.
That's the intention.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
my,
it's like the energetic loop, the same thing, and you said specifically your physical self. I was wondering why that would be. For the strength of character, as opposed to the whole circulation of the energy with strength of character.
okay, think of it like this. I'm doing a lot through this side of the circuit. I'm doing a lot.
Okay.
Okay? For me, it works better for me if I imagine that since I'm doing so much on this side of the circuit, it helps me to think that I am also taking care of something most important to me, which is my character. Am I being clear about that?
Yeah.
That's why I'm
I-
putting my physical self here also.
Okay.
but you may want something else. Maybe some other
No,
version.
that's not what I just like, yeah, I didn't understand the concept, 'cause I'll watch the last one and get back to you.
By accident, I was doing that this week, and I thought maybe I'd explain it. Because I have me, it's my physical self, I have my space, I have the energy that I look through to see how the thing's going, and I have my energy sphere, and I'd invited some people in for some work I wanted to do,
Okay.
and there were specific things that I was hoping for them. And as I was sitting there, I was like, well, I'd like that too. And I just kind of pretended like I jumped in the middle of it.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I see that you're talking about. It's not that you have that energetic self that's the conduit, but you kind of jump in there yourself too.
Right, right. And I think it also helps me focus as I'm doing things to know that there I am and I'm doing that work on myself, so I can just really concentrate on that character building. Okay? Am I being clear? Sandra?
So are you like the observer? This is happening.
Right, I'm the observer.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the observer, and this is where everything is happening over here. Is that clear? Yeah.
I just want to be clear. So do we no longer have the sphere? This big space is what the sphere, the way you taught us before, or we still have the sphere and we have this bigger space?
Okay. Class, what's the answer? What's the answer?
I understand.
Yes, that's a good answer. Yes. Some people said yes, some people said no, so they're good answers. Yeah, but seriously, what's the answer?
Whatever, it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I
Doesn't
don't worry about it.
Makes it easy.
All right.
Makes it easy. Yeah, but- okay, one more question I want to get to actually doing this tonight, so just take a few minutes.
Last week, when we were putting people in the circle,
Right.
you said to just keep it all going
Right.
until those people smile. How do we know when we're done working on our character, or you just set a timer, or just?
Okay, good question. Good question, real simple. All we have to do is imagine that as you're looking at yourself standing there, it's dark. It's just dark, surrounding you. Like, there's a darkness around me. So I'm projecting enough energy onto my character until it becomes bright. Keep it simple. Okay? And if you're having trouble visualizing, it's the easiest way to do it. Now, let me just take a few minutes here, because we could go through all of these steps in 5 minutes or less. Because I've heard people say, I don't have 20 minutes. I don't have half an hour. I certainly don't have 45 minutes, and forget about an hour. I actually had people tell me this week. Okay? All right, well, we can do it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Shall we?
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Go for
Okay.
it.
All right. 5 minutes. All right? So, go to step 1. Remember, practice your breathing. Inhale deeply through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Okay? Go into step 1. Okay. All right, step 2. Clear yourself. Clear the environment. Try to do it multiples of time, like 10 at one time, 20 at a time, or more. All right, let's go to step 3. Let the energy in. Stay in gratitude and joy. Let that go through. can sense the energy of the room dropping. It's getting more dense. This is what we want. Almost ready to go to step 4. Okay, we're ready to go to step 4. Okay, imagine that your energetic self is opposite you. We're looking at brain, heart, spirit areas or some type of darkness around your energetic self. Just let the energy go through. Step 5, you can see your physical self standing opposite you. As the energy is going through you, the steps 1 through 4, you're now projecting additional energy onto your physical self with the gratitude, the joy of what you've had before, that same energy, but now we're also adding to that your character. Your statement about character, your SC statement. Well, that was under 5 minutes. It's about 3 minutes. Over 3 minutes.